Hey, this is Rebecca Westman, and you're listening to the Wedding Collective podcast. I'm a Canadian wedding photographer based on the border of Alberta and Saskatchewan. Hey, Lloydminster! Welcome to your local go-to podcast for all things wedding planning. I'll be sitting down with real-life couples and local wedding vendors, connecting you to the best of the best in the Lloydminster area. Plus, I'll be sharing my own experiences as a wedding photographer, offering insights and advice on what I've learned while working with my couples. So, whether you're sipping coffee with your wedding planning checklist or just daydreaming about your perfect day, this podcast is your new best friend. Stay tuned for inspiring conversations, valuable insights, and a whole lot of love. This is the Wedding Collective podcast. Let the wedding adventure begin. Hey guys, welcome back to the Wedding Collective podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca. I'm a local wedding and elopement photographer based in Lloydminster. And today I have the third episode in my Wedding Planning 101 series that I record every other week. And we're diving deep into one of the most crucial and sometimes drama-filled aspects of wedding planning: guest lists and invitation etiquette. So, let's start at the beginning with creating your initial guest list. If you're listening to this, you're probably newly engaged, bursting with excitement, and ready to share your special day with your favorite people. So it's time to sit down with your partner and start brainstorming. Ask yourselves some questions like, who do you want standing by your side as you say, I do? Think family, friends, colleagues, people who have been in your life as long as you can remember, or those people who have come into your life more recently but who became fast friends. However, you also need to remember your venue size and budget may play a role in who ultimately makes the list. It's all about finding that delicate balance between who you really want to be there and what's feasible for your big day. So, if you haven't listened to episodes 2 or 4 yet, head back and check those out first, as they are all about budgeting and choosing your venue. Now, on to the delicate dance of balancing family and friend invitations. Cue the conversations with your parents, in-laws, and anyone else who's got a stake in your wedding. Now, although it's important to hear everyone out, at the end of the day, I really want you to remember it's your wedding. You and your partner get the final say. If mom and dad want to invite their golf buddies who you have literally never met, it might be time to play the venue capacity card. You guys, if I could go back to my wedding almost 14 years ago, oh my gosh, the guest list would look a heck of a lot different. I kid you not. We were looking through our wedding photos a couple of weeks ago, and there were people there who both Mark and I didn't even recognize. Now, I know this can be a little controversial. I actually recently did a poll on Instagram because every Thursday I do a Thursday Thoughts segment in my stories where we chat about like a bunch of different things. And anyway, one day I asked everyone what their biggest piece of advice was to couples who are planning their wedding. And that turned into another conversation about whether or not your parents have a say in your guest list. The number one answer by far was a big heck no, and that they should really back off. However, some people felt that if your parents are helping out financially, they should have a say. So you need to decide that for yourself, but I just hope that no one is putting that kind of pressure on you. You know what? Maybe you should just send this episode to your parents if you're having issues, and I can tell them to chill and let your kids plan their day the way that they want to, inviting who they want, and please don't pressure them or manipulate them into inviting your friends. It's so sweet that you're proud and want to show them off, but that's what the photos are for. Anyway, moving on. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to jump on here and remind you that if you're looking for a wedding photographer, I still have a few spots left in 2024, but I'm mostly booking into 2025 already. So if you want to work with me, I would love to chat with you. Just head to my website, www.rebeccawestman.com/contact. Now we're going to talk about understanding RSVPs and response deadlines. Think of your RSVPs as the lifeline of your wedding planning process. Clear communication is key here. Be sure to set a deadline that gives you plenty of time to finalize your guest count and make arrangements with your venue and caterer. In the wedding handbook that I provide all of the couples who book with me, I suggest ordering save the dates anywhere between 7 to 9 months before your wedding. And I know this might seem super early, but it is always better to give yourself that extra time in case of printing or shipping errors or any other unforeseen issues that can come up. Then I recommend sending out the official invitations about 3 to 4 months before the big day, which is especially nice for guests that need to plan travel and book accommodations. Make sure that you are including all the important details, RSVP instructions, accommodations, and anything else that your guests need to know. Okay, now for the fun stuff. Designing and personalizing your wedding invitations is so much fun. Think of your invitations as like a sneak peek into your big day, a little taste of the magic to come. Get creative and use those engagement photos. People will love seeing your beautiful faces on the cards, and I'm sure they'll hang them up on their fridge for like years to come. And you know what? Whether you opt for something classy and elegant or like a whimsical boho vibe, just let your personality really come through in the details and give your guests that little preview of what to expect on your big day. Another thing to think about is addressing plus ones and children. That can sometimes be a little bit difficult, but honestly, with a little foresight and tact, you can navigate these issues smoothly. Just simply start by determining your stance on plus ones and kiddos, and then just make it crystal clear on your invitations. Trust me, as someone who has 3 kids, I'm telling you, your guests will just appreciate the clarity. If anyone raises an eyebrow at your decision, just whatever, smile, roll your eyes, stand firm. It's your day after all. So you've sent out your invitations, and now you have to handle tracking the RSVPs and your guest count confirmations. And yeah, I know it sounds daunting, but with a little organization and patience, you can keep track of those RSVPs like a pro. Start by creating a handy-dandy spreadsheet or use an online tool to track responses. And hey, remember to follow up with those stragglers. There's always going to be stragglers who haven't responded by the deadline. And you know what? A gentle reminder can go a long way. That being said, late RSVPs and last-minute changes are just par for the course when it comes to wedding planning. So take a deep breath and roll with the punches. Just, keep calm, carry on. Everything will work out. I promise. And you know what, guys? That is a wrap for today's Wedding Planning 101 episode of the Wedding Collective podcast. If you haven't already, don't forget to go back and listen to the other episodes in this series. I hope you found these tips on navigating guest lists and invitation etiquette helpful. And please, if you take anything from this, just remember your wedding day is all about celebrating love, laughter, and the people who mean the most to you. Until next time, happy planning!